Have a pleasant day, everyone. Once again, this is your biology teacher, Teacher Glenn. A pleasant day to all. Today, our topic is all about common cell structures. For this day, we'll be having two topics. The first one is classifying animals, and the second is classifying plants. Now, let's start with the vertebrates. It is a known fact that all vertebrates have a backbone, and they are classified under 5 classes. Let's start. Class mammals. Their main features: they have fur or hair on skin, they have a placenta, young feed on milk from mammary glands, external ears or pinna are visible, and they are endothermic. Examples: horse, hog, squirrel, and human. Next, class birds. Skin covered in feathers, have 2 legs and 2 wings instead of 4 limbs. They lay eggs with hard shells on land, have a beak, and they are endothermic. Examples: parrot, blue-tooth, eagle. Next, class reptiles. They have dry, fixed scales on skin and lay eggs with rubbery shells on land. Examples: snake, turtle, and iguana. Next, class amphibians. They have smooth, moist skin. Adults usually live on land, so have lungs. Larvae live in water, so have gills. They lay eggs without shells in water. Examples: frog, toad, newt. And lastly, class fish. Loose, wet scale on skin. They have gills to breathe, and they lay eggs without shells in water. Examples: flounder and grouper. Now, this is another diagram that shows you the different classes of vertebrates. You have reptiles, fish, amphibians, mammals, and birds. And under each are their main features. Now let's proceed to the invertebrates, the animals that do not have backbones. One of the morphological characteristics used to classify invertebrates is whether they have legs or not. All invertebrates with jointed legs are part of the phylum Arthropods. They are classified further into the following classes. This table shows you the different classes under invertebrates. Let's start with the first one. Class Myriapods. Main features: they have body consists of many segments. Each segment contains at least 1 pair of jointed legs. They have 1 pair of antennae. Examples: centipede. Next, class Insects. 3-part body. They have the head, thorax, and the abdomen. 3 pairs of jointed legs. 2 pairs of wings. 1 or both pairs may be vestigial, meaning non-functional and undeveloped, and 1 pair of antennae. Examples: butterfly. Class Arachnids. 2-part body, cephalothorax and abdomen. 4 pairs of jointed legs, no antennae. Example: spider. And lastly, we have class Crustaceans. More than 4 pairs of jointed legs. Chalky exoskeleton formed from calcium, breathe through gills, and have 2 pairs of antennae. Examples: crab. This diagram shows you the 4 major classes under arthropods, namely the arachnids, crustaceans, insects, and myriapods. Now let's proceed to classifying plants. Ferns and flowering plants. Ferns and flowering plants. At least some parts of any plant are green, caused by the presence of the pigment chlorophyll, which absorbs energy from sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. The plant kingdom includes organisms such as ferns and flowering plants. The first diagram shows you the structure and the arrangement of fern leaves, while the other one shows you the reproductive spores. Now let's proceed to the flowering plants. They reproduce sexually by means of flowers and seeds. Seeds are produced inside the ovary found at the base of the flower. Flowering plants are generally divided into 2 major groups. We have the monocot, or we call it the monocotyledons, and the dicot, or dicotyledons. Wheat plants are monocotyledons. There are other examples of monocot or monocotyledons like those members of the grass family. Sunflowers are dicotyledons. If you are looking for other examples of dicotyledons or dicots in your surrounding, they are commonly fruit-bearing plants or trees. How to distinguish between monocotyledons and dicotyledons? Number 1, through their flowers. Flowers from monocotyledons contain petals in multiples of 3, while flowers from dicotyledons contain petals in multiples of 4 or 5. Next, through their leaves. Leaves from monocotyledons have parallel leaf veins, while leaves from dicotyledons have reticulated leaf veins, meaning that they are all interconnected and form a web-like network throughout the leaf. The diagram here shows you 2 basic structural differences between monocots and dicots. As you can see in the diagram, monocots have petals that in trees, while dicots, they have petals in 4s or 5s. Another is their leaves, or the leaves of monocots, are in parallel veins, while the leaves of dicots are reticulated or branched veins. Now let's go to our revision tip. Identification of monocotyledons and dicotyledons comes up fairly frequently in the multiple choice paper, and so it is worth learning the 2 differences between their flowers and leaves. Thank you for listening, guys. Till next time.